Hey everyone, how's it going there? Got a deck profile for you guys today. Today I'm doing Cyberse, and I don't know what it'll take for this deck to actually be good, or even an accomplished link deck. You'd think for a type that is link based, it would be a little better at summoning link monsters, but unfortunately that isn't the case. But I do find the type is a lot of fun, the cards are a lot of fun, and I do actually enjoy the link summoning mechanic. But with that out of the way, let's jump right into this. So we start off with our 3 Link Slayers. This is probably one of the first cards you saw from that Link Strike starter deck. And he's self-special summoning as long as you control no monsters, so he's good opening up going first or second. And he does pop back row just by discarding cards, so that doesn't come up too often, but I mean, if you have Dot Scraper in hand, you can remove a spell or trap and special summon that Dot Scraper. Probably one of the best cards in the deck is one of our 3 Balancer Lords. This grants you an additional normal summon of Cyberse monster just by paying 1,000 life points. And also, if this guy gets banished, you can special summon a Cyberse monster, or level 4 or lower monster, doesn't have to be Cyberse, from your hand. What we like to normal summon is our Draconet here, so typically if you get Balancer Lord, you normal summon the Balancer Lord, pay the 1,000, normal summon your Draconet, and Draconet basically allows you to special summon a level 2 or lower normal monster from your hand or deck, preferably the deck. Then we play triple backup Secretary. A lot of people run 2, but I like to run 3 because this deck lacks a way to spam monsters onto the board, right? Like, I mean, you can generally, most hands allow you to get like at least a link 3 out, and those are, pretty kind of average crummy hands, but she is, as long as you control, or if you control a Cyberse monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So she is self-special summoning, and her requirements are pretty minimal. So we do, for our 2 ofs, we run the 2 Boot Staggered. This is one that if you normal summon a monster, you can special summon it. And it's got 2300 attack, which is not too bad. And every time it inflicts battle damage, you get a special summon a token to link away with as well. So with the 2300 attack, it can special summon itself out. That's not too bad. We play 2 Link in for Flyer, and this is another one of our self-special summoning. This guy special summons himself to a zone a link monster points to. We play 2 Ram Clouder and 1 Cloudia. Ram Clouder just allows you to tribute monster, can be a token, and target 1 Cyberse monster in the graveyard, special summon it. So this can literally tribute a token and get out a firewall from the graveyard, so that's pretty good. And Rom Claudia is when this card is normal summoned, you can add a Cyberse monster from your graveyard to your hand. And then if this thing is destroyed by battle or card effect, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck. Rest of the 1-ofs here, we play 1 Stack Reviver. This, when you link away with this and another Cyberse monster, you can target 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster in your graveyard that was used for that as a material for that link summon, and special summon it. So this just allows you to just get more out of your link summoning, right? Like if you use 2 to link summon to a link 2, this will bring something back. You can go into a link 3, and so on and so forth. For a Bit Looper here, this pairs really nicely with Dot Scraper. Bit Looper is self-special summoning just by sending a level 2 or lower monster from your hand to the graveyard, and Dot Scraper is has 2 once per duel effects. It's really good, and the 2 effects are: if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card. If this card is banished, you can special summon this card. So we don't really have many ways to banish it, but I mean, there is one way. But the graveyard effect still does come in really good. Then we play 1 Salvagent Driver. This guy, he's not the greatest, but I just really like him. I've ran this guy in all of my Cyberse builds since Code of the Duelist first came out, and he's just if a Cyberse Link monster you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while this guy's in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon him, and then you can discard a spell, target 1 Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So this thing can recur any of your links or any of your other Cyberse monsters, and just by discarding a spell. So we do run a few spells that you can discard off that. Then just for our normal monsters, we run triple Bitron and 1 Digitron. These are for your either discarding for the Bit Trooper or mostly you just bring them out, special summon on the field with the Draconet. So, on to the spells. We play triple one-time passcode. Really good card. It's just like a free special summon for a token that can go into a Link Spider, and you can carry on from there. Also, like I said, you can tribute tokens with the Ram Clouder. For other Cyberse spell, we got 2 Signet Backdoor. This card is really good when you open it with Balancer Lord. Basically, you normal summon your Balancer Lord, use his effect to gain an additional normal summon. Then you activate this. This banishes that Balancer Lord and then adds a card from your deck to your hand with less attack, typically your Draconet. And then Balancer Lord, because it got banished, can special summon another monster from your hand. So this, you have a potential way of getting 4 bodies on board. 3 bodies on board with this and a Balancer Lord. And also that Balancer Lord does come back in the standby phase. For the last of the spells, we play triple Mind Control and 1 Monster Reborn. Now, this is a Link-based deck, so Mind Control I just figured is really suiting. This allows us to take a monster away from our opponent and then link away with it. And Monster Reborn, of course, because it's Monster Reborn. We do play 4 traps. New from Extreme Force, we play Parallel Port Armor, and if you don't know what this does, this allows you to target a Link monster you control, equip it with this card. Your opponent cannot target the equipped monster with card effects, also cannot be destroyed by battle. And so that just protects your Link monsters, especially if you open a subpar hand where you only can make like a Decode Talker or just some other like low Link rating monster or something, what have you. You just you grant it some protection. It protects it from targeting and protects it from being destroyed by battle. Also, you can banish this card from your graveyard and 2 Link monsters from your graveyard. Target 1 Link monster you control, it can make a second attack during the battle phase. So that just allows you, if you're like mid to late game, you're ready to go for game, you can banish this and 2 other Link monsters from your graveyard and then target one of your high attack monsters, like a buffed up Decode Talker or something, or even like a buffed up Encode Talker, and strike for game. Then we play 2 Recoded Alive. This says target 1 Link 3 Cyberse monster you control or that is in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, special summon 1 Code Talker monster from your extra deck. And it has a graveyard effect as well. If you control no monsters in the extra monster zone, you can banish this card from the graveyard, then target 1 of your banished Code Talker monsters and special summon it. Now onto the extra deck. We'll start off with our Link 1s. We play 2 Link Spider and 1 Secure Gardna. Link Spider is made off of our normal monsters and our tokens. And this just allows you to special summon a level 4 lower normal monster from your hand to the zone that he points to. And Secure Gardna, this one it's a little difficult just because it requires a Link monster to make, so you're kind of putting a lot of resources into it. But I do like this just in the Trickstar matchup because it does, when this card is special summoned, you take no more effect damage for the rest of the turn. Also, once per turn, if you would take battle or effect damage, you do not take damage at that occasion. For the Link 2s, we got double Proxy Dragon, double Honeybot, and 1 Underclock Taker and 1 Flame Administrator. These 2 are from Extreme Force there, so I'll explain their effects. Underclock Taker is once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster this card points to and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. The opponent's target loses attack equal to the attack of the one this card points to. So if you got this thing co-linked to like a firewall or something, you could drop something 2500 attack. And Flame Administrator, I really do like, actually. You can only control 1 of these at a time, so that's why we only run 1. But all Link monsters you control gain 800 attack. So onto the Link 3s, we play our 1 Decode Talker, 1 Encode Talker, double Xcode Talker, and 1 Trigate Wizard. Now, everybody knows what Decode does. Encode, if you don't know, this one basically, if a monster this card points to battles an opponent's monster with higher attack than it, you can make that monster just unable to be destroyed. Also, you take no battle damage. And then after that damage calculation, you can have hit Encode Talker or another monster he points to gain attack equal to the attack of that battled monster, of the opponent's monster. So this guy can get up really, you can get his attack up really high if you're, going into something that with like 3k plus attack. And also then if you happen to have that parallel port armor in the graveyard and banish it, as well as 2 other link monsters, then you can swing in for like 2 attacks with over 5,000 attack on this guy. So he is really good for finishing off OTKs and stuff. Then we have the Xcode Talker, which is nice because he's kind of like the Tri-Gate arrows, where you can get an extra link off of him. But his effect is when this card is link summoned, you can choose unused main monster zones equal to the number of monsters currently in the extra monster zones. So if there's 2 monsters in the extra monster zones, you can make 2 of your opponent's main monster zones unusable. And then those zones cannot be used while he's face up on the field. You can only use that effect once per turn, of Xcode Talker once per turn. And then the nifty effect of him, because he's able to co-link with up to 3 monsters, is that monsters this card points to cannot gain 500 attack, and they cannot be destroyed by card effects. So, like I was saying earlier on, usually what I like to get is something like this going on. Now we got everything boosted up by 800, and then plus these 2 boosted up by 500. And then Xcode cannot be targeted or destroyed by battle, and both of these can't be destroyed by card effects, so you get quite a bit of protection on the board. You're locking down at least 1 monster zone, main monster zone, if there is something else up in the extra monster zone. And yeah, it's just, all in all, that's one of my more favorite kind of things to go into if I have the resources to. It's, you know, a little difficult to pull off. And of course with the Tri-Gate Wizard, that's just our go-to for if we're able to build a full board with 3 co-links, then we'll go into Tri-Gate Wizard. And for the last of the extra deck, we play the 1 Firewall Dragon, because it's Firewall Dragon. But that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. If there's any way that you play Cyberse differently, or that you know how to make it better, please feel free to comment that down below. I mean, this deck definitely has a long way to go. They're definitely slotted for a lot more support in the future. I just don't see any of it being any good. But only time will tell, so thank you for watching. Have a good one.